What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you for taking the time on this beautiful, beautiful day. It was awesome out today. I got some yard work done, got all kinds of stuff done. It was great. But we had the schedule released tonight. Very excited about that. A lot of leaks and rumors going on, but give you the times, the dates, all that great stuff you need to know later tonight. During halftime of the Sixers game, maybe after. We'll see what's going on there, but definitely try to make it all happen. But one thing I wanted to talk about first was Chuck Clark, somebody we have mentioned before. We've talked about possible trade candidates for this team in the secondary. So Chuck Clark being one of those names, it is now being brought to our attention by Don Cleveland and Adam Kaplan, who first reported that the Eagles did indeed try to trade for Chuck Clark, and that was during the draft. And apparently, it was Jalen Reagor who was the bait. So, look, they were getting rid of Hollywood Brown. We know that. So, maybe they're looking for a speedster wide receiver. He's not exactly the speediest guy, but looking for another smaller receiver possibly. So, we try to make that happen. I don't know exactly what the offer was, but I assume you're going to have to give up a late round pick to go along with that. But Chuck Clark, man, somebody we have talked about, a veteran presence to add into this room. And I think it's a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. My man, Big Skinny in the building. What is going on, my man? Sorry, I literally have to go get my girl right after this. And I was trying to put all this together when you asked me the question, was asking about, how this works with, if we were to trade for Chuck Clark, would it be only $1 million difference because his cap hit is a little over $4 million and Jalen Reagor's is over $3 million? Well, we're going to break that down and explain why it's not unfortunately like that. It's actually going to cost the Eagles a little bit more. I'll explain to you why. I'll show you the math here, let you guys know. But this is going to be a quick one. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for hitting that like button, subscribing to the YouTube channel, everything you guys are doing. I truly appreciate the hell out of you. But thank you for taking the time today. Any questions, comments, you're not understanding something, maybe you're watching this later, you can comment down below and I will happily answer anything. Always down to talk some birds. My man Anthony in the building. What is going on, my man? Hope you're having yourself a great day because I'm getting pumped up for this damn Sixers game. We're not getting eliminated tonight, but it's always down. It's always time. I hope you're always down because I'm always down to talk some birds. What is going on? We got East Coast Gridiron in the building. Love to see it. Hope you are doing well. Also, we're going to break this down here. We're going to talk about, should the Eagles trade for Chuck Clark, and is it possible? How much would it cost? Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking at the safety room. We know we have Anthony Harris back in the building. Lost Ronnie McLeod to the good old Colts there. But you see here, this is the safety room. You see the guys that are outlined in white. They will be rookies. Anybody that is in green will be a new player. We'll go over that with the receivers. But you see the safeties here. We really love what Marcus Epps was able to do last year. Kayvon Wallace, still a lot of question marks there. Jared Maiden came in, really helped out on special teams. Gary Vincent, one of those hybrid defensive backs that can play a little nickel, a little free safety. Can he help you on special teams? Didn't do that last year. We'll see if he gets a shot. Andre Sasha-Ray, talked about him, how well he did on special teams last year, but he was also able to get thrown in the fire at nickel and did really well. So I like him, like his chances of making the team as a special teamer that can help all over the defensive back room. Then you got Reed Blankenship we brought in and a few other guys that are trying out. So we'll see what the safety room looks like, but it is barren right now. So Chuck Clark, look, this dude, he's been playing in the league, 5 years experience, 6 foot, 205 pounds, only 27 years old. He's got 46 starts out of 79 games played, 3.5 sacks, 283 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, as well as 8 quarterback hits, 28 passes deflected, 5 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 4 forced fumbles, and 3 fumbles recovered. Look, they drafted Kyle Hamilton. We know that this guy is on the block. We have been talking about him. It's a no-brainer. Philadelphia Eagles, he would be the perfect, look, he'd be the perfect fit, but any safety would be a perfect fit right now. We talk about needing more of a free safety, right? Because of that single high, some of the things we're going to be doing there, but 2 shell will be used a lot. So you need a strong safety if Kayvon Wallace or Marcus Epps isn't going to be that guy. So Chuck Clark will allow Anthony Harris to do a lot more. Maybe Kayvon Wallace has added some things to the repertoire as well as Marcus Epps. We'll see, but I think it's a no-brainer that the Eagles need to go ahead and try to add Chuck Clark, dependent on the cost. Now, we're talking about cap costs in a second here, but I'm referring to what's it going to cost with Jalen Reagor and what else? Because I don't know if they're just giving that up, but with the cost, maybe you can work something out, throw in like a seventh, a sixth rounder. We'll see here. But let's look at the Eagles wide receiver room. Now, we've got this is the outside receivers: A.J. Brown, Devontae, Deion Kane, Hightower, Reagor. You know that this was a separate list from the show we did last week where we looked at the slot receivers and the outside guys. So Reagor could fit either spot here, but you've got two new rookies here in Devin Allen and Brittany Covey trying out for that slot position. We brought in Pascal, Ward, Watkins. Those guys can really hold it down there. And then going back to the outside, we've talked about this. I feel pretty comfortable that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith get pretty much all of the snaps. And we've talked about this. These guys are interchangeable. Don't care what you call them. They're going to move all around. X, Z, slot, don't care. Can't wait to see it, but we've got a prototypical X right there in A.J. Brown. Yes, can't wait for it. But Jalen Reagor, definitely expendable right now. I think that's just a no-brainer. And if you look at what he has done, I don't know why that says 19, but it's supposed to say 20. He's only played 2 years. Started 24 games, only 695 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10.9 yards per catch, 24.8 yards per game. Okay, but he doesn't ever get the damn ball. Running the ball, tried that, runs backward most of the time. Returning the ball, he's had his breakouts, has that 1 touchdown there in that punt return. But beyond that, Jalen Reagor has not lived up to that first round potential. And look, I'm all for giving guys to the 3rd year, whatever, this, that, the other thing. That's great. But when it comes to a guy that's this disgruntled, this unhappy, a change of scenery might do well for both sides. And look, Jalen Reagor, I would love to see him pan out, but he has not done that. That is why instead of drafting another receiver in the first round, we went ahead and traded for a bona fide stud in A.J. Brown. So we're pretty set right there. I think A.J. Brown is going to just add so many targets. And with Devontae already there, Quez Watkins is your 3. The rest of the guys can battle. I think Jalen Reagor, that's definitely, if somebody still thinks there is hope there. You never know what a change of scenery can do. It's only his 2nd year. He's only 23 years old, right? So you see there, the kid hasn't done anything, but he's still young. You see that his cap hit's $3.619 million. So something we have to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the thing I wanted to do today. Explain to you, is this possible? One of the questions was, if we do trade for him, can we still sign someone like James Bradbury? So let's get that answered for you. Don't worry, I did all the math, so you don't have to do any of it, but we'll get to it here in a second. Yo, what is going on, my man? Dude, I appreciate you. And look, I'm trying to get out as much as I can to you, Brian, all you guys. And, life is crazy, but as soon as I can get home, make these graphics and get stuff out to you, always trying to do that. But you guys can always follow me on all of these platforms. Always try to get news out to you as quick as I can. And then I try to break this stuff down so that, it can really be understood, because there's a lot of really confusing stuff that goes into the cap. And look, if the blue check marks don't get it, there's no reason that you guys should have to understand it. So I'm happy to be here, happy to break all that stuff down for you guys. And look, man, I appreciate the hell out of you, all of you. Seriously, I can't do this without you guys. So thanks for tuning in, Brian. Hope you're having a great day. My man Mark in the building as well. Let's go. Love to see it. Love to see you guys here. I know it's a little bit earlier today, and a lot of you guys like that. Today I was actually off and able to do some stuff at home, was getting the schedule stuff ready, and then I was like, I want to do this Chuck Clark thing, talk about the money. Weirdly enough, Big Skinny asked me the question, and I told him, hey, look, I have the information right here, so let's talk about it. Nina in the building as well. Let's go. Love to see it. Hope you're all doing well, getting me fired up. And we're talking about a potential trade right now. So love to see it. I love all you guys. And if you guys missed any of the shows recently, we've been talking about this cap, trying to keep people, it's a lot of confusion out there. Let's just say that. But the Eagles cap space right now, this is if they sign all the rookies. We're only missing Nakobe Dean and Cam Jurgens, but we know their cap hits. So we're replacing those 2 with the bottom 2. Go check out that show. I'll post it in the comments. You guys can check that out, understand what the cap is. But we've got cap space over $9.5 million. And that is after we sign, after we sign all of our rookies. So we've got some money to play with, okay? Now, the question is, how much would Chuck Clark cost? Oh, that's a tongue twister. How much Chuck could a Chuck Clark cost? Anywho, we're looking at the money. Now, what happened to Big Skinny earlier was he asked, with $4 million, you saw the numbers there, with Chuck Clark costing $4 million in cap, Jalen Reagor only costing $3 million. Is that only $1 million that the Eagles would have to pay if they were to trade? Well, luckily, I did the math for you guys here. We're going to take a look at actually how this would break down if we were to trade for Chuck Clark. Love the Eagles to sign Bradbury, trade for Jesse Bates. They just signed into a big deal, so I doubt that'll ever happen. But look, man, he was franchise tagged. I thought he got his deal, though. But either way, they're not getting rid of him. But I'm with you, man. Very talented dude. Love the kid. Maybe I'm thinking of Justin Simmons. But yes, very, very Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, those two, that's a prototypical safety you want. And so I hear you. But we're looking at guys like Chuck Clark right now. And I've got many, many other options that we went through this offseason. But look, I'm all about adding to the secondary. So we've talked about James Bradbury. Go check out that show. There is money to be had to sign James Bradbury. But the question asked me today was, could we do both? Could we sign Bradbury and trade for Chuck Clark? Well, first, let's take a gander at what Chuck Clark is going to cost the Eagles if it's just a trade for Jalen Reagor, some picks, no other money messed with, just 2 players. That's what we're looking at, the potential if this move is done. So let's take a look here, ladies and gentlemen. So what you're going to need to do here to understand how much it would cost is look at Jalen Reagor's cap hit, okay? Now we're trading that away, but unfortunately, if you trade him pre-June 1st, which is what we think is happening, so if this were, to go down after June 1st, this would be completely different, and I would show you the numbers, but I'm not doing that. So we're looking at Jalen Reagor's cap hit, $3,619,276. But you have to look at the dead money. When you are trading him away, he will bring along $3,605,700. So you're really only saving $13,576. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, what it comes down to is getting a player you need and getting rid of a player you don't. So that's where you're really looking at, but we're just trying to help you guys understand how much this is going to cost. So then you're taking that savings and you're looking at Chuck Clark's cap hit. Now, we don't got to worry about his dead money or any of that stuff. That's the Ravens' problem. What we worry about is that contract coming to us. His cap hit right now, $4,628,333. That's a decent size change. But look, he's like the 24th highest paid safety in the league. That's great for a starting caliber safety. I think the money's worth it. But you take his cap hit and then you just subtract the savings that you got from Jalen Reagor, which was jack shit. And then you will see how much additional, what it would actually cost on our cap to trade for Chuck Clark. So you see that his cap cost right there is different than the cap hit. We're not just switching those two guys. You actually would take on $4.6 million plus. So $4.6 million. Okay, that's a decent sized chunk of change, right? But it's something the Eagles can handle. Let me see what the comments are here real quick. Yo, what's going on? My man BMO in the building. Yeah, and you've been saying it. We've all been saying it. We've been talking about all the places, and we talked about this before the draft. That was one of the candidates. But once they start drafting those positions, those guys become way more expendable. So maybe I'll do another show with some more trade candidates you guys have been asking about. But this is somebody, BMO, I know you've been talking about. We've been saying it, man. So let's get those talks up. We're talking about the money now. We can make it happen. Cap can't ever be simple. Hey, man, I try my best to, break it down and simplify it so it's not like it is insane. So just try to break it down and make it easier so you guys can be able to look at it and understand how things work too. They had a decent cornerback and safety. This team's changed a lot. Yeah, we've already changed a great way without adding them, dude. What did we talk about? My keys to the offseason, getting back to a trophy, was adding a nose tackle, getting an edge rusher, drafting and signing a linebacker. Well, we got that nose tackle in Jordan Davis. Oh, and also trading for a big name wide receiver. So we did that too. We got A.J. Brown. We got those 2 linebackers, one in the draft, one signed. And we got the exact people I wanted in Jordan Davis, A.J. Brown, Kaiser White, Nakobe Dean, and then, of course, Hassan Reddick, the edge rusher. So we are set at those positions. Sure, we're going to find out what the depth looks like. And as the years go on, you're going to add. But look, the secondary is the biggest concern. That's why we've been talking about this stuff, guys. And everyone knows it. Howie knows it. So the season's not over, though. Just because the draft is over, you could still add people. So that's why we keep making these shows, because everybody keeps saying, the Eagles are doomed, season's over. It's like, bro, I remember the Super Bowl season, slow and steady, baby. So I'm going to stay patient and wait for the Eagles to either make a trade or sign somebody. Go check out those free agent videos, all those guys available. But looking at this money again, it can happen. Now, at the bottom there, you'll notice a potential restructure, and a potential extension. So if you were to just keep him on that deal, well, you could restructure, save yourself almost $1 million, or you could extend him and save yourself almost $1.5 million. So he's got 2 years left on his contract. I'm sure Howie could work some magic, but regardless, it's $4.5 million. If you drop it to 3 or 3.5, either way, the Eagles have that money. We just showed that money right there. Let's bring it up again. $9.5 million. So even if he costs that 4.6, you're sitting at still $5 million, a little under, but you still have $5 million, ladies and gentlemen. So this is with already signing all of your rookies. So you don't need that money for anything else. If you want to sign someone throughout the year, you've got plenty of money to get a Jordan Howard if you think the running back room's not ready, or some other veteran, or whatever you want to do. You have money, so you could get that done. And now, what we talked about with James Bradberry the other day, and go back, check that video out. The way you do that is you signed him to a multi-year deal, maybe throw in some dummy years, whatever you got to do, but you give him a huge signing bonus and then prorate that money, spread it out through the next years. And then his bigger cap hit comes in 2 years when we have all that cap space. So very easy. I'll post that video down in the comments as well, but you could get him for only maybe a $3-4 million cap hit as well. So you add those two together, you're looking at maybe $8.5 million in cap space. We have $9.5 million. You can always restructure. You can always clear up more space. And we can do that with the players we already have right now, too. We've talked about Javon Hargrave. We talked about Isaac Seumalo. There are ways to create more money. So those moves can definitely happen. And I think the Eagles should make it happen. So Eagles, go out, grab yourself James Bradberry from free agency, make him that right offer, and then go ahead and trade for Chuck Clark. And that would get us a Super Bowl. I already think we're going to contend. Clearly, with the pass rush, things get a lot easier. Last year, 31st in the league with 29 sacks, unacceptable. So you add all over the place for the secondary. Yeah, you lost Rodney McLeod. That's not great. You lost Steven Nelson. Last year, you remember, I didn't want Zach McPherson thrown in the fire. Wanted a veteran there. So I still want those veteran pieces. That's where I'm at, ladies and gentlemen. That is where I'm at. So would you say Howie's redeemed himself officially of these two draft trades to shut up the Howie haters? They should have shut up. And I try to warn them. You know that, Mark. I try to tell them all offseason. A huge offseason was good. Well, you guys remember last year before the draft, I talked about this year. We had so much cap space, so many draft picks that it was going to be huge. We were going to trade for a big name receiver. We were going to get a nose tackle, an edge rusher, a Sam linebacker edge rusher that fits what? Look, none of the guys we had play nose tackle. Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, nobody. Ridgeway, they are not nose tackles. Jordan Davis is a nose tackle. And then Hassan Reddick, that's quite the upgrade over Jannard Avery. So, dude, Howie's been killing it. Howie, for me, was, the man once he won us a Super Bowl. I know a lot of people hold on to DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson. Every team passed on DK Metcalf. Justin Jefferson got passed by a bunch of teams taking receivers. So, the Eagles weren't the only team. Now, they did. That was huge mistakes. But, man, we talked about last year. Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Zach McPherson, Kenny Gainwell, Teron Jackson, Patrick Jackson, or Johnson. Dude, I just think I just mixed them up. Teron Jackson, Patrick Johnson. But, dude, a great draft. Jacoby Stevens, we'll see what he can be, but a great draft. And then we talked about how he had money for this year. He was going to make a big trade for a receiver. He was going to draft well again. And if that happened, we were going to be bound for the Super Bowl. Well, it happened. So I'm still a big believer in Howie. But yeah, Mark, I think at this point, if people are still talking crap, it's just they're mad that they, got tricked into the Deshaun Watson talk all offseason while we were talking about Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, and we got them. So that's what Jonathan Gannon was missing. People can still talk their trash, Mark, but I think Howie has proven that he is one of the best GMs in the game by far. So, Mark, I would say yes. I think, but I hear what you're saying because the hate is unreal. And look, I get it. People are just upset to be upset, but it's like, I like breaking stuff down and understanding it. So that's what we do here. But yeah, he's done phenomenal, man, especially if you can get at least a decent vet. And that's it, so there's still time, right? So we remember the year. What was it in 2017? What month was it when we added Patrick Robinson? I want to say it was like a month after the draft, right? It could have even been May. Could have been June, I want to say. So, look, let's try to stay patient. We know that the Eagles are trying to make moves. So that's all I want to hear, right? That's all I need to hear. He's trying. So a lot of people, I don't want to hear that they're trying. Look, he can't force the free agents to sign anywhere. They choose where they sign. The trades, he can offer what he can, but it's up to the team ultimately or this player if they want to, it is what it is. So look, they are trying, and I think they're doing great so far. We're heading in the right direction. What we talked about before last season, I think by this time this year, we're going to be talking about contenders here. And I really feel we are. And if we add those pieces of the secondary, we're steamrolling people. So we got a lot of bumpy roads when it comes to learning certain things on this roster. A lot of new players, but once they start clicking on all cylinders, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I know before anybody, Jalen Hurts is good. Yes, this will be Jalen Hurts' second year as a starting quarterback. So I want to see what he can do with the defense and actual weapons. That's all I want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, me one secondary too. I think everybody does, and they should. And I think Howie does too. That's why he's trying to make trades and sign people. He's trying. So that's all I want to hear. And we've got the money to do it. So that's all you need to hear. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we can, and hopefully we will trade for Chuck Clark. If not, I'm going to have some more trade candidates. We'll go back, talk about some of the guys. Maybe they're still out there. Maybe, the team didn't draft someone or whatever it is. We'll talk about those guys. Even if Howie does nothing else this year, don't think it happens. Still more hype. Yeah, exactly. We've got a pass rush. That'll make things much easier on the secondary. You remember we won a Super Bowl with Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills as our starting corners. So, yeah. And now, clearly, the safeties were better, Malcolm Jenkins. But, look, regardless, I think that this is not done yet. But, yes, even if it were, I'm still more excited than I've been in a long time. So, get excited. Stay excited. I'm going to be back later. We're going to talk about that schedule release. Got most of the things panned out. Just got to find out the exact dates, times, all that great stuff. But got a nice little graphic for you, all that stuff you want to keep to yourself. You want to do whatever the hell you want to do, man. Whatever it is you want to do. He's agreeing with you. My man, Sean. Look, dude, I appreciate the hell out of all you guys, but I do have to get rolling. I will be back, though. So if you guys have any questions, whether it's about this or Bradbury, whatever it is, save them up. Come back later when we're talking about the schedule release, or you can always comment down below, and I will get back to you when I see it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm rolling out here. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and join me the next time we're going live and talking to birds, because I always love to hear from you guys. I always want to hear your input. I'd love to sit here and babble to myself forever, but this is literally for you guys. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. Of course, it is truly my pleasure. Thank you, Big Skinny, Sean, and Mark, and Brian, and Nina, and everybody, BMO, all of you guys. If I missed you, I'm just a drifter, so I'm sorry. But I truly appreciate all of you guys. I'll be back later. Stay safe. Enjoy your day. And as always, go Birds!